Hello and welcome to live streaming for authors. My name is Naomi For and I am your host for the next 40 minutes. But before I start, permit me to say thank you to the entire team of Worital for having me in this summit. I am so thankful that you chose me to be a part of the great team that you have selected. And with that being said, let's jump straight into content. So, the first thing I want you to see is this. Why be local when you can be global? Now, this is an original quote by me, and I started saying this in 2016 when I realized how powerful the live streaming app was. Now, please understand this was a time when there was no Facebook Live, there was no Instagram Live, there was no Twitter Live, no LinkedIn Live, no YouTube Live. It was Periscope, literally, and people would come to my broadcast in the African continent and tell me right now you're the only one who's live in Africa. And that was a bit of a scary place to be, but I also understood the power of what I was experiencing. I could see how people were jumping in from different parts of the world. And in that instant, I understood there is no point restricting my gifts and my skills and my talents to a local community when I can reach out to the world. And so I started saying, why be local when you can be global? And even as an author, it doesn't even matter the group of people that you have targeted in your book. The fact is, with the power of live streaming, you can take your message, you can take your book to different stages around the world, and I'm about to show you how. So buckle up, get rid of every form of distraction. This is going to be straight to the point, no fluff. I will give you the simple tools that I have used over the last 1.5 years to go from being a stay-at-home mom to becoming a 2-time TEDx speaker and multi-award winning brand influencer, brand ambassador, and the list goes on. All right. So the power of live streaming. This is what I will say. It doesn't matter what you know. It doesn't matter what you can do. It doesn't even matter how phenomenal your book is. If you're not being seen and heard, it is as good as you not existing in the first place. Come on, think about it. Who writes a book so that nobody else can read it? Definitely not you. You're smarter than that. You've written a book and now you're wondering, how can I get my book to the four corners of the earth? Well, this is a simple tool that everyone has access to. One of the things I love about live videos is it allows you establish the know, like, and trust factor really quickly. People would do business with you when they know you, when they like you, and when they trust you. But the most important thing is you have to get started. I often say this. So it's a story I heard and it's really powerful. So there were 5 birds sitting on a pole, and 3 of the birds intended to fly. Question is, how many birds actually flew? Now, if your answer is 3, guess what? You were wrong. 3 of them intended to fly. They didn't fly. So as an author, you can't intend to go live. No, it's not going to work. You have to get started. And as we proceed, I really want to know, are you currently using live videos? I don't want to assume that everyone is in the dark when it comes to live videos. But the truth is, people are losing sleep over that which you can do in your sleep. Your book has solutions. Your book is meeting the need of a group of people who are losing sleep right now. But the question is, can they find you? If they searched for solutions on Google, will your book pop up? It's something I want you to think about. And if you're not sure about how strong your visibility game is, then this is the time to fix it. And truthfully, more than ever today, we are faced with so much uncertainty. I mean, as of the time of this recording, we have been in a lockdown in my city, Abuja, and in different parts of the world, people are forced to stay at home. Now more than ever, we are being forced into the digital space, and one of the ways we're communicating is through videos. Corporate meetings are being held via Zoom, and schools are having their lessons via online teaching platforms. The world that we know it is no longer the same. And quite frankly, I do not believe we're going back to the way the world was before. So I really need you to understand that for you to step into the fullness of this season and beyond, we must first understand the power of your mind. Because whatever the mind of a man can conceive and believe, it can achieve. Your mind is so powerful because if you believe you can, if you think you can't, either way, you are right. That is such a powerful quote, but I want you to think about it. Now, people are online, and someone is saying, well, everybody's online, so I don't need to be online. No, they do not have your story. They do not have your experience. They do not have the solutions that you bring into the world. And so it is more important for you to identify who you are and what you bring into this world. And there is no greater time for you to step into that fullness and begin to show up. But first, you have to conceive it right here. If I can only get you to see it, then you can touch it. When I started saying, why be local when you can be global, nobody knew me. In short, it was just between my family and friends. And I remember also how people mocked me at the beginning because a lot of people couldn't understand what is she doing. I mean, right now the live thing is everywhere, but when I started, I was an early adopter, and people probably thought I was crazy because I was always holding my phone and literally talking to myself. Well, they didn't see the comments on my phone, and so it looked like I was constantly talking to myself. It didn't make sense to a lot of people, but it didn't matter that it didn't make sense to them. It made sense to me. And so you must find what makes sense to you. And since you've taken the time to write a book, I am assuming that what makes sense to you right now is to have your book around the world. And I want to show you how you can use live streaming to achieve that in a very few steps. This is why this season is important for you to show up because every adversity brings with it the seed of an equivalent advantage. There is an advantage for you in this season. The fact that you are an author right now, I mean, people are spending more time reading books. Why are they not reading your books? This season brings with it the seed of an equivalent advantage, but you must recognize it. You must find your place. And guess what? You must take your place. I can say everything I want to say today, and nothing will change if you do not go beyond what is happening to seeing instead what your role is in this season. I believe that you are alive for such a time as this. There's a reason why you're alive today. There's a reason why you've written that book today. The book you have written, again, there are people who are losing sleep over the solutions in your book. And there is no greater time for you to step out. So what motivated me to start live streaming? I was having a baby after 12 years, and I really needed to slow down. I had actually had a miscarriage earlier, and it made no sense to be running up and down, planning events. And I really loved my job. I mean, my work has always been people centered, but in the process of being at home nursing my baby, I wanted to do more. I wanted to support my husband. I wanted to contribute to the family welfare. And one of the people I was following on Facebook, Natalie, she was the first person I heard about Periscope from. Unfortunately, she never even went on to do much on the platform, but I know I heard about Periscope from her. And I quickly downloaded the app and I was intrigued. I saw people coming into broadcasting. I could hear people, the host saying, "Hey, John, thank you for joining me from Australia. Hey, Paul, welcome from England. Hey, Mary, nice to see you from the US." And I was like, wow, this is so fascinating. So what really motivated me at the beginning was first the desire to want to support my family. And of course, what kept me and got me to start was just the fact that with the touch of a button, I could connect with the world. And so that is really my journey to getting started. So how do authors start a live streaming series? Again, we've talked about why it's important for you to show up because there's no point writing a book and the people can't read it because they've never heard about you. So starting a live streaming series, it's it's so doable. If you have a smartphone and internet connection and the right mindset, you can start right away. When I started live streaming, that was all I had. I mean, today I have the fancy lights, I have tripod stands, I have a lapel microphone, but trust me, for more than a year, I had nothing. And it didn't prevent me from getting booked for my TEDx event. It didn't prevent me from getting featured in The Guardian Woman. It didn't prevent me from, you know, writing a book that got me on Amazon bestseller status, right? And so, how do authors start a live streaming series? The first thing I want you to do is identify a platform. Now, there are various platforms. Periscope is still existing, though it's predominantly an international platform. And so, if you have a means for people to pay you internationally, wherever you are in the world, then yes, go for it. Then there is Facebook, there is Instagram, there's YouTube Live. I mean, every major platform, even LinkedIn, now has the live feature, and that should tell you something. According to statistics, Facebook users are 3 times more likely to watch a live video as compared to a non-live video. I love this one. According to the Forrester research, 1 minute of video is equivalent to 1.8 million words. So how do you start? Choose a platform. Second thing I want you to do is to pick a day, pick a time, and pick a theme. When I started, my show was called the Sparkle with Naomi Show. Let me tell you the truth. Right now, you can own your own media empire. Recently, there was a One World concert that happened with millions of people tuning in. Guess what? The world has changed. Most of the daily shows in the US now are hosting live from their homes with dogs and cats, moving around. But guess what? People are not looking for perfection. They're looking to connect with you. They're looking to connect with your content. And so after you choose a platform, I want you to choose a day. I want you to choose a time, and I want you to choose a theme, because you don't want to be a one-hit wonder. You've got to be consistent. I recently spoke at TEDx Providence, and after speaking at TEDx Providence, I was booked to speak in Boston. And the ladies who hosted me in a fireside chat were part of my clique of friends on Periscope. And one of the things they said when they were introducing me was, we were all together on Periscope, but there's something about Naomi. She never stopped. And that really warmed my heart, because I am still here even after 4.5 years, because I never stopped. I stayed consistent. There were times where I had to have a baby and I was offline for months. But when I came back on, I quickly resumed what I do best, showing up to serve my audience using live videos. Okay? So, first things first, choose a platform. Second thing, choose a day, choose a theme, choose a time, so you can have inspired moments with Fola. And it happens every Wednesday on Facebook Live at 2 p.m. Last year, 2019, I hosted a 21-day live video challenge. And one of my clients in that challenge was new. And this assignment was one of the first things I told them to do. I said, pick a day, choose a time, a platform, and a theme. And so she called her show. Yes, it's your show. She called her show Finding Purpose with AB Soul. So she's a purpose igniter. She speaks a lot about purpose. And guess what? In less than a year, with the visibility and the boldness to come out and share her message with the world, she wrote 2 books. I can't even stop there. Last year in 2019, she hosted her Purpose Life class in Abuja, in London, and in Dubai. And today she continues to speak around the world, virtually and physically, literally just sharing her message. But before that, she was literally just a school owner in Abuja, but she was passionate about reaching the world with her message of hope and purpose. So, live streaming really can change your life, but you've got to be consistent. And of course, I must add this. It's important that you know who you're speaking to. Trying to speak to everybody is speaking to nobody. So I call it the 3 Ps: understanding the person, the pain, and the pleasure. Who do you want to speak to? Based on the book you've written, who is your book for? What are their pain points? What are the pain points you've addressed in your book? and what is the pleasure that you have to offer. Once you identify this three P's, it becomes very easy for you to stay consistent in creating content for your audience. And so starting your series is as good as done if you can put these steps together. First, choose a platform. Second, choose a day, a theme, a time, and name your show. There is no hard or fast rule to this. Just create something that is, is authentic to you. And then, of course, be consistent. Show up consistently and build your tribe of raving fans who cannot wait to read more and more of your books. So let's move further into the tools needed for live streaming. I love this picture. It was actually taken in Seattle. I had gone visiting a friend and I went live on Instagram and her husband captured this moment. And there it is, my smartphone, a tripod. I didn't even have my lapel mic on, but it helps with great sound quality. I love to express myself with my hands, so you can see me doing this. But like I mentioned earlier, when I started, it was really just my smartphone in my hands, and I would just go live like this. Sometimes I would be done with a live session, and I would realize that I've been live for 40 minutes. I was truly passionate about sharing my gift with the world, and that continues to motivate me today to keep showing up. So the tools needed, basically smartphone, internet connection, a tripod stand. You can invest in a lapel microphone, and you can definitely get the ring lights or halo lights to help your live stream lighting when it comes to filming during the night time. But during the day, personally, I love the sun kiss. And I'll give you a simple hack. If you ever want to go live during the day, just find a window, make sure your face is toward the window, and just hit the button. As long as it's a bright sunny day, you will have the most beautiful sun kiss on your skin. And there is no lighting I have found that can beat that beautiful glow that your skin has. All right, so there you go. So literally you can have you have everything you need to get started right now. And the next question is, how can authors sell with live streaming? When you're consistent, something happens. People begin to know you, like you, and trust you. And when they know you, like you, and trust you, they want to do business with you. So two ways you can sell with live streaming. Number one is show up consistently and give value. Value, value, value. Your value determines your usefulness. Your value determines those who pursue you. And so if you want to sell with live streaming, then show up and give value. Now, some will say, if I keep showing up, am I not going to run out of things to say? Absolutely not. Once you've identified the person, the pain, and the pleasure, you can never finish talking about the pain people are dealing with within your area of expertise. And you can constantly ask your audience questions about things they need help with. Now, this is one of the things I love about live videos, because it's real-time interaction. And so you can literally ask people, how would you like me to help you? Is there anything else you need help with? Right? So show up consistently and give value. Understand that your value determines who pursues you. And then, of course, don't be afraid to ask for the sale. Some people want to sell, but they don't know how to ask for the sale. So whether you want to give a free chapter of your book so people can come into your mailing list and then you can do the upsell for them to buy your book, or you just want people to go to Amazon or any of the Kobo stores or online stores or physical stores to purchase your book. However you want them to buy your book or whatever you create with your book, ask for the sale. Ask for the sale. Ask for the sale. I can't even stress that enough. So what should authors avoid during a live stream? I think the first thing I really want to say is the first 60 seconds matters. When you go live, please, please, please don't ever say, let's wait for people to come in. It is so wrong. And I think it's a bit rude, because if I came to catch your replay, I would I would be waiting. I mean, for those who jump in late during the live stream, they don't see that. But when you wait for people to come in and you don't start, it's offensive to those who showed up early, and it's offensive to those who catch the replay, because the first few minutes you lose them and they can go away and never come back to watch you. So one of the first things you want to avoid during a live stream is understanding that the first 60 seconds matters. So what should you do? Start. As soon as you hit the live button, start. Hello, my name is Naomi Osemedua, and I am so excited to have you here. If you're watching this on the replay, I have nothing but love for you. And for those watching me live, what a great day to be alive. Today, I just jumped in here to share something really quickly, and I just need you to understand that you are in for a ride. Now, this is about 30 seconds, right? But guess what I've done? I have started the conversation. Once you watch me live, you would even hear me acknowledge you. And so I do that in my videos. I acknowledge those watching the replay. So the moment you hear that in the replay, you're like, oh wow, oh wow. Some people actually even respond during the replay like they're live with me. I don't know if they know the difference, but the truth is they connect even though they came to watch a replay, and they're responding. And I wake up sometimes and my DM is full with people responding to where they are and what they do, and I'm like, oh wow. But it's because I have built the connection from the beginning. So never ever wait. Go straight to introducing yourself, your topic for the day, share a quote, do something, but never ever say, let's wait for people to come before we start. I think it's a taboo, right? Another thing I said you should avoid is inconsistency, right? Inconsistency. Third thing is also knowing that it's live and you must not, ignore your audience. Take advantage of the real-time interaction and get feedback. Ask them questions. Ask them questions. Tell them to contribute. Tell them to tap the screen and give you the hearts. You must avoid just speaking to your audience instead of having them speak back at you as well. So 3 things I just want to keep it, what you should avoid during a live stream. And with this 3, trust me, you're good to go. And one more thing is, please give a call to action. It's so important. At the end of your live stream, do not end without telling people what to do. Whether you want them to follow you in case they're new on your platform, whether you want them to go click on the link in your bio and go download a free book, or to sign up for your webinar, please have a call to action. And even if you have nothing to offer, you can tell them to go and share your live stream with someone else who needs to watch it. So never end a broadcast without a call to action. All right. My achievements. You know what I'm going to say to this? Google me. Just Google me. It's amazing how the first time I actually ever thought of that was my dad. Now, my dad at the beginning was one of the naysayers, and I know he meant well in a good way. He just thought I was too talented and too gifted to not be in a corporate setting. So we're 6 children in my home, and I am the only entrepreneur. Like everyone else is working in Shell, oil stuff. My sister's a medical doctor in Canada. There's an engineer. There's a communications expert. Like everyone has a day job. I am the only one who is an entrepreneur. And when the whole live streaming thing started, it was like, are you serious? What is this? But over time, I mean, I refused to give up. And so they got used to it. And today I can tell you my family is my biggest support system when it comes to, my work and all that I do today, right? And so my dad often would just try to discourage me. But then there was this time he said to me, you've done quite a lot. I Googled you. Up until that moment, believe me, I've never done that. And you should try this. You should Google yourself. And he said to me, there's so much. And I actually put my name on Google and I found so many pages. And that was so powerful because all the features I've had on television. So if I could list a few, from being a stay-at-home mom, I Today, I'm a two-time TEDx speaker. I had my first TEDx event in 2016 because somebody watched me on Periscope and recommended me to her brother. In 2019, I spoke at TEDx Providence, and I was the only African selected out of over 500 participants. I flew all the way from Nigeria to Providence, Rhode Island. I became a brand ambassador for the first time because a travel company actually sponsored me for the rehearsal and for the main event for Sheezy Tours. And I am eternally grateful for that support, even in that season. I won 4 awards, international awards in 2019. So you can call me a multi-award winning brand influencer. That was one of the awards I won. I'm a published author. Yes, yes, yes. Authors in the building. My talk last year, and this picture was actually taken on the day of my talk on the TEDx stage. Oh my God, such a breathtaking moment. My talk was titled Trash the Labels, and I actually have published a book, Trash the Labels, and it was published by Worital. How amazing. So I am an author on the Worital, under the Worital company, and it's such a pleasure that I can come in here to share my story with you guys. I continue to travel the world. As of the last time I checked, I have spoken on 4 continents. Yes, Africa, Asia, America. Yeah, so North America. I know it's the Americas. That's North and South. So North America. I'm actually scheduled to speak in South America, so I can actually use Americas, the North and the South, in a few months, hoping COVID blows over as of the time of this recording. And I'm just so blessed. I'm so grateful. I'm so thankful that I dared to hit the go live button. Trust me, none of this was existent. So apart from the Sparkle with Naomi company, where I'm an online visibility strategist teaching business owners who are struggling to gain visibility, I show them how to be seen and heard, and go from backstage to center stage using live videos. I also lead the movement, the Women with Stories, where I empower women to find and own their unique stories, discover their cure, and serve others with the gift of their stories. Now, that story telling side of me takes me around the world on different stages. Now, let me shock you. None of these brands were existing before I went live. Remember, I said I was an event planner. When I came online, I started the Sparkle with Naomi company and then the Women with Stories. And today we even have Trash the Labels, and that is something that we're still fine tuning, but I'm creating something there. And even in this COVID season, I just launched my funding organization called Hajara's Purse, where 10% of my earnings goes to feed those in need. And these are things that were not existing before I showed up online. And so there is so much out there for you to um, hold on to. There's so much that can happen in your life. I guess that's what I'm trying to say. If you just would dare to go live. Some benefits of live streaming I think I should share even as I close this video is that it allows you to become top of mind. It positions you as an expert that people need to listen to. I already talked about you building the know, like, and trust factor, which will enable people not just read your book but do business with you. As an author, you can open multiple streams of income through your visibility. You can get booked to speak on stages. You can start coaching. There's so much. I mean, there's a whole lot I do today from the stages because I'm being seen and heard. And it's absolutely changed my life. I continue to get messages from around the world from people who see me as a gift that keeps on giving. But I keep wondering what would have happened if I never hit the go live button. What would have happened if I stayed in this, space of let me just, mind my business. Let me just, stay here quietly. It doesn't matter what you know. It doesn't matter what you can do. It doesn't even matter how phenomenal your book is. If you're not being seen and heard, it is as good as you not existing in the first place. The world is your stage. Do not remain a local champion. You have everything in you to, you know, change this world with the gift of you. I believe that every one of us has unique gifts and talents, and what you bring to the world is it's different from what I bring to the world. I know what I bring to the world, and I call it the sparkle effect. And when I introduce myself, I'm like, "Hi, my name is Naomi Medua, and I am also known as the Sparkle Queen." And everywhere I go, I sprinkle my sparkle effect, and I literally do this. I sprinkle my sparkle effect. I have had clients pay me thousands of dollars after listening to me introduce myself like that. And that's because I've identified my wow factor. I know my X factor. And so I will say to you, go and sparkle your world. Go and be the light that you are. It's time for you to go from backstage to center stage. And once again, I just want to say thank you for your time. Thank you for listening to me, and I'm hoping that you will get out there and you will do the work. I'm going to put a link for those who desire to work further with me. I have quite a few options, and you can check the link below. And feel free to email me at Naomi. Okay, email me. Email me, Naomi at naomiosemedwa.com. So yeah, it's always so hard to say email me at Naomi at naomiosemedwa.com. So send an email to Naomi at Naomi. What am I saying? Okay, so every time I do a recording, this is what I do. I record live. I don't edit. And so this is probably my blurb moment, but I'm gonna leave it there so that you can laugh as we end this. Whatever it is, you're gonna see it down below. Send me an email. I would love to work further with you. And wherever you are, go and sparkle your world. Bye for now.